Right, so in today's video, we're going to be giving this lawn its first cut of 2025. I know for a lot of people, they've been out already cutting the lawns, and I've been doing that exact thing at the front of the house, but with the nature of, the nature of this lawn and where it is, you can see that we're only getting a little bit of sun towards the back of the garden. So for a space like this, the lawn care season does start a little bit later, and now that we're kind of at the midpoint of March, it's probably the right time to get out and give it a cut. And the reason why we're doing that today is because this time last week we got on and gave the lawn its first feed of the year. It's encouraged a little bit of that growth. We've had some growth in the plant, but you can see probably from where the camera is now, we've got a few weed grasses knocking about. I have put a little bit of Roundup on them, so they should hopefully start to die within the next couple of weeks. But I want to just take the tops off the plants, because what that's going to do is going to start to encourage even more growth. So the mixture between feeding your lawn and cutting your lawn is really what's going to start up that thickening process. Now that we're sort of getting slightly warmer temperatures, they are fluctuating quite a lot at time of recording. It is still a little bit chilly. We have some nice days in this week ahead, looking forward now, but then it does go colder again, so it is still quite inconsistent. But feeding it and cutting it are really the two things you want to be doing now that we're kind of in the middle of March. So I am going to be getting on with the cylinder mower today, which might be a little bit of a risk because the thing weighs about 45 kilos, something like that. So it might be a little bit too heavy because the soils are a little bit soft at the moment. However, just getting on with the rotary should be fine. The only reason I'm getting on with this is because most of the grass is quite low lying at the moment, with it being bent grass and fescue, and it tends to have more lateral growth than it does vertical growth. And to decide how sort of short we're going to cut the lawn today, we're going to use this Artemis grass gauge. Now, Garden Impulse sent it to me, not a sponsor. I've not got an affiliate link for this in the description. You know, if you want to pick it up, you can. It's entirely up to you, but all you do is plonk it down on your lawn. You can see it's got like different heights there. It's written in millimeters, so you can see what the height of your lawn is. But if you just chuck it down onto your sward and come right over the top, you can see how long your lawn currently is. So you can see that so the very top of this lawn is around about 20 mil, give or take. So what we might do is drop it down maybe to 18, maybe even to 17, because we don't want to take off too much of the plant. I've already said we're only nicking the tops off the plant. It's purely to encourage more of that growth. I recently got this serviced too, and something you might want to do is either get your own mower serviced or just sharpen your blades yourself. I don't want to risk sharpening these because it is quite an expensive machine, but if you've got a rotary, then just do a quick YouTube search of how to sharpen it, and that way you're going to do less damage to the plant, because you don't want to stress out too much, particularly at this time of year. Now this lawn looks far from perfect, but considering that's its first cut since, I think, sort of mid-November, maybe possibly even early November, not 100% sure when its last cut was, but I think it looks pretty decent. And you can see it's striped up quite well, and that's because of the quantity of grass plants that have survived over the winter. And you can see that not a lot came off the lawn. I mean, to be fair, that is quite a lot for this space with it being so small, but it's, like I said before, just the tops of some of those longer plants. But you can see we've only nicked the very top of the bent grasses, the fescues that we've got surviving still in this lawn. So in terms of next steps for this space, you can see that we do have the odd weed grass plant knocking about, and it looks worse than what it actually is. It looks like there's loads of them, which, yeah, in fairness, there are quite a few, but there's much more of the bent grass, there's much more of the fescue that we've got left. And like I said towards the start of this video, we have put down some Roundup on some of these grass plants, so fingers crossed within the next week or two they start to die off, and those that don't, those that are a bit more resilient and survive, I can just pull them out by hand as this sward really starts to thicken up. And if someone would have told me that in mid-March this lawn would be looking as good as it currently does, I would never have believed them, because if you were on this channel last year, you'd have seen the state that I was in mid-March. And you know, you're talking sort of like a handful of grass plants maybe in the middle, and it's just like a mud bath everywhere else. You couldn't walk on the lawn, it was just squelching, it was awful. Whereas getting on this space here with a 40 odd kilo machine and it doing a superb job, it's not turned up any of the soil at all. It's squished some of the worm casts that you can see, but other than that, it's, you know, it's done an absolutely boss job. So if you would like to stick around on this channel and see how I take this lawn from the state it's in now into the state that it was in the summer last year, it is looking absolutely pristine, then feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. If you've enjoyed today's video, or if you found it useful at all, then consider giving it a like. The link to my Instagram is in the description below as always. And yeah, finally, thanks for watching.